Chapter 17. Focus your attention. All of life is the study of attention. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Jiddu Krishnamurti. Focused attention is the key to high performance. The attraction of distraction, the lure of electronic and other interruptions, leads to diffused attention, a wandering mind, a lack of focus, and, ultimately, underachievement and failure. Current research proves that continuously responding and reacting to emails, telephone calls and texts, and instant messages has a negative effect on your brain, shortening your attention span and making it difficult, if not impossible, for you to complete the tasks upon which your future and your success depend. Developing an addiction. When you check your email first thing in the morning, or when you respond to the bell or other sound that indicates an incoming email or message, your brain releases a tiny shot of dopamine. This shot gives you a pleasant buzz. It stimulates your curiosity and causes you to react and respond immediately. You instantly forget whatever else you were doing and turn your full attention to the new message. Like the sound of bells ringing when you win while playing a slot machine, the sound of the email or IM triggers the reaction of, "What did I win?" You immediately stop your work to find out what your prize is. When you start your day with a few shots of dopamine triggered by your email or IM bell going off, you find it extremely difficult to pay close attention to your important tasks for the rest of the day. The multitasking illusion. Some people believe that they can engage in multitasking, going back and forth between emails and important tasks. But people can focus only on one thing at a time. What they are really doing is called task shifting. They are shifting their attention back and forth, like swinging a searchlight from one object to another. After an internet interruption, it takes about 17 minutes for you to shift your total attention back to your task and continue working. This is precisely why so many people today are working harder and harder, shifting from email interruptions to work and back again, all day long, and getting less and less accomplished. They also make more mistakes. The proven solutions. The solutions are simple and are being adopted by the most productive people in every industry. First, don't check your email in the morning and immediately trigger the all-day dopamine addiction. Leave your devices off. Second, if you must check your email for any reason, get in and out fast, and get back to work. Turn off the sound on your computer, and put your phone on vibrate. Stop the stimulations that trigger the flow of dopamine and lead to continuous interruptions. Finally, resolve to check your email only twice a day, at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m., and then turn it off again each time. Provide a telephone number where someone can reach you in an emergency. Whenever you are in a meeting with one or more people, follow the same protocol. Leave electronic devices off. Never insult the persons you are meeting with by working on your laptop or answering your phone. Pay 100% attention to the other people. This applies at home as well. Double your productivity. Here is a simple way to double your productivity. First, plan each day in advance. Select your most important task, and then start on that task first thing, before you do anything else. Second, work non-stop for 90 minutes with no diversion or distraction, and then give yourself a 15-minute break. Third, start again and work another 90 minutes flat out. Finally, after this 3-hour work period, you can then reward yourself with a shot of dopamine by checking your email. When you develop the habit of completing 3 hours of important work each morning, first thing, you will both double your productivity and break yourself of the habit of checking your email all day long. You will regain full control of your life. Eat that frog. 1. Keep your goals of success and high productivity in mind. Before you do anything, ask yourself, is this helping me achieve one of my most important goals, or is this just a distraction? 2. Refuse to become a slave to the bells and whistles that distract you from completing those tasks that can make a real difference in your life. Leave your devices off. Chapter 18. Slice and dice the task. The beginning of a habit is like an invisible thread, but every time we repeat the act we strengthen the strand, add to it another filament, until it becomes a great cable and binds us irrevocably, in thought and act. Ors and Sweat Marden. A major reason for procrastinating on big, important tasks is that they appear so large and formidable when you first approach them. One technique that you can use to cut a big task down to size is the salami slice method of getting work done. With this method, you lay out the task in detail, writing down every step in order, and then resolve to do just one slice of the job for the time being. like eating a roll of salami one slice at a time or like eating an elephant one bite at a time. Psychologically, you will find it easier to do a single, small piece of a large project than to start on the whole job. Often, once you have started and completed a single part of the job, you will feel like doing just one more slice. Soon, you will find yourself working through the job one part at a time, and before you know it, the job will be completed. Develop a compulsion to closure. An important point to remember is that you have deep within you an urge to completion, or what is often referred to as a compulsion to closure. This means that you actually feel happier and more powerful when you start and complete a task of any kind. You satisfy a deep subconscious need to bring finality to a job or project. This sense of completion or closure motivates you to start the next task or project and then to persist toward final completion. This act of completion triggers the release of endorphins in your brain, mentioned earlier. And the bigger the task you start and complete, the better and more elated you feel. The bigger the frog you eat, the greater the surge of personal power and energy you experience. When you start and finish a small piece of a task, you feel motivated to start and finish another part, then another, and so on. Each small step forward energizes you. You soon develop an inner drive that motivates you to carry through to completion. Swiss cheese. Your tasks. Another technique you can use is called the Swiss cheese method of working. You use this technique to get yourself into gear by resolving to punch a hole in the task, like a hole in a block of Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese. A task when you resolve to work for a specific time period on it. This may be as little as 5 or 10 minutes, after which you will stop and do something else. You will just take one bite of your frog and then rest or do something else. The power of this method is similar to that of the salami slice method. Once you start working, you develop a sense of forward momentum and a feeling of accomplishment. You become energized and enthusiastic. You feel yourself internally motivated and propelled to keep going until the task is complete. You should try the salami slice or the Swiss cheese method on any task that seems overwhelming when you approach it for the first time. You will be amazed at how helpful each technique is in overcoming procrastination. I have several friends who have become best-selling authors by simply resolving to write one page or even one paragraph per day until the book was completed. And you can do the same. Eat that frog. 1. Put the salami slice, or Swiss cheese, technique into action immediately to get started on a large, complex, multitask job that you've been putting off. 2. Become action-oriented. A common quality of high performers is that when they hear a good idea, they take action on it immediately. Don't delay. Try it today. Chapter 19. Create large chunks of time. Nothing can add more power to your life than concentrating all of your energies on a limited set of targets. Nito Quabain. Most of the really important work you do requires large chunks of unbroken time to complete. Your ability to carve out and use these blocks of high-value, highly productive time is central to your ability to make a significant contribution to your work and to your life. Successful salespeople set aside a specific time period each day to phone prospects. Rather than procrastinating or delaying on a task that they don't particularly like, they resolve that they will phone for 1 solid hour between 10 o'clock and 11 a.m., for example, and they discipline themselves to follow through on their resolution. Many business executives set aside a specific time each day to call customers directly to get feedback, to return phone calls, or to answer correspondence. Some people allocate specific 30 to 60-minute time periods each day for exercise. Many people read great books 15 minutes each night before retiring. In this way, over time, they eventually read dozens of the best books ever written. Schedule blocks of time. The key to the success of this method of working in specific time segments is for you to plan your day in advance and schedule a fixed time period for a particular activity or task. Make work appointments with yourself and then discipline yourself to keep them. Set aside 30, 60, and 90-minute time segments that you use to work on and complete important tasks. Many highly productive people schedule specific activities in pre-planned time slots all day long. These people build their work lives around accomplishing key tasks one at a time. As a result, they become more and more productive and eventually produce 2 times, 3 times, and 5 times as much as the average person. Use a time planner. A time planner, broken down by day, hour, and minute and organized in advance, can be one of the most powerful personal productivity tools of all. It enables you to see where you can consolidate and create blocks of time for concentrated work. During these working times, turn off the telephone, eliminate all distractions, and work non-stop. One of the best work habits of all is to get up early and work at home in the morning for 2 to 3 hours. You can get 3 times as much work done at home without interruptions as you ever could in a busy office where you are surrounded by people and bombarded by phone calls. Make every minute count. When you fly on business, you can create your office in the air by planning your work thoroughly before you depart. When the plane takes off, you can work non-stop for the entire flight. You will be amazed at how much work you can go through when you work steadily in an airplane, without interruptions. One of the keys to high levels of performance and productivity is to make every minute count. Use travel and transition times, what are often called gifts of time, to complete small chunks of larger tasks. Eat that frog. 1. Think continually of different ways that you can save, schedule, and consolidate large chunks of time. Use these times to work on important tasks with the most significant long-term consequences. 2. Make every minute count. Work steadily and continuously without diversion or distraction by planning and preparing your work in advance. Most of